Welcome to the studio of Thecommontales. I'm your host Hassan. I'm joined today with a guest, Masood. As you know, that I bring guests from around the world to share their life experiences with you, to let you know how they are doing in their life, what they have done, what they are doing, and what their future goals are. This program is based on the real life experiences. These are the real life heroes facing the real experiences and the real challenges in their life. And I urge you to stay and watch and see how they are doing in their lives and what are the issues and problems that they are facing and how they are dealing with those problems. I welcome you to the program, Mr. Masood. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hassan, for having me here today. I'm looking forward for this beautiful conversation today. I'm keen to share with you some of my life experiences here in Europe as well as around the world in my country of origin as well.
I've got a lot of questions for you. So what we do, my first question is going to be about your early life. Where were you born? What did you do? And what did you study? And what city you lived in?
Okay, thank you. Actually, as I told you, I'm from Afghanistan, and I was born in Afghanistan in Jalalabad city. It's a city which is bordered with one of the cities in Pakistan. Both Pashtuns are residing in those areas.
Yeah.
The province is called Nangarhar. I'm basically from that side of Afghanistan, but I've lived also in Kabul because of my work in academic years as well. I did some college in Afghanistan and schooling as well, and when I moved to Italy for the first time in Europe, I continued my studies in Italy as well. I wanted to do some masters there, but then I had to continue with my job as well, so I couldn't conclude. So I did 1 year of masters as well and a business administration.
How was the life in Afghanistan in terms of going out, the food, the culture? How do you find it? I mean, how did you feel while you were growing, and how do you see it now that you are away from the culture?
Well, to be honest, it has always been different than the Western culture. Although my family told me a lot of stories in early 80s and 70s, it was quite different in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
But somehow the cultural touch was always there because, and the differences as well, because if you see, Afghanistan is a diverse country, so there are a lot of ethnic groups and tribes in Afghanistan. They have their own culture. In general, there are a lot of things which are common, but at the same time, there is diversity in Afghanistan. So we cannot just talk about as whole about all the cultural differences here, but we would, point out some of them, which I have experienced personally.
Yeah.
I was grown in a place where mainly Pashtuns are residing, and a lot of cultural and the daily routine of the Pashtuns I know actually. And also I'm familiar with the Tajiks of Afghanistan as well, and some Hazaras and some other ethnic groups. Growing up in Afghanistan, it was a beautiful experience, to be honest, because first of all, it's my own country. At the same time, the cultural differences were vast in Afghanistan. So it is quite interesting to know about, many people, they are very keen to know about Afghanistan. That I know there were not many opportunities to go to Afghanistan because of the war situation there. I know it's quite different now. I haven't been to Afghanistan in 10 years now. I want to actually, but due to some personal problems and as well as the general situation there, I couldn't go back. As you ask about the food there, I know you're from Pakistan, so you know a lot already. Food is, I would call it like a food paradise because there is some people, they kind of stereotype Afghanistan as the Middle Eastern country, or they would think about the Indian culture in it, but it's totally different.
Yeah.
We might have some similarity, especially with the Pashtun side of Pakistan or Iranians as well, but our food is quite different. It's not spicy, it's not super European, it's in our own style, I would say.
Yeah.
Normally we have, I will name some of them. For example, we have our national dish, we have Kabili Pulao.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as I was saying like there are differences in ethnic groups and diversity. So kabuli pulao is sometimes considered to be a food of the city rather than of villages in remote areas. So that's what makes it very beautiful.
What are the traditional foods in the remote areas?
That's a good question. Actually, I have been to some areas like far from the city, and I have seen how people live there, what they eat. Some of the foods I would name is like mainly there are dishes. They eat a lot of meat as well at the same time, and they will cook, for example, rice in a different way than the city. They will have there is a curd type of thing they use for some specific foods, which I don't know, like I'm sure you cannot find that thing because they don't make it in Europe and other countries. They will just mash it and mix it with some garlic in some hot water. And they would pour it on the rice, like cooked rice in different ways. I cannot name them all because I don't know them all. So there are a lot of things.
So which was the first country you came to Europe when you came out of Afghanistan?
Okay. It was a long journey, like many other people, I would say. It was a long trip actually. So firstly, I went to Iran. From Iran, and then I moved to Turkey. Obviously, in Iran, I was legal. I had my visa with me, a tourist visa. Then I moved to Turkey illegally, and I stayed there for a couple of weeks. And then I moved to Sofia of Bulgaria, and then from there I went to probably Hungary. Hungary. After Hungary, then I moved to Serbia. I hope like I'm going in order because I still like it's been a long time. So
so far a lot of countries you have been to already. So then.
And then after that, I moved to Vienna in Austria. Then after Austria, because I wanted to move to Italy, like there wasn't any specific reason for that. I was just in love with Italy, although I had very limited information about Italy. But then I moved to Italy. Then I started my, kind of life there with all the hardship I faced there. It was quite difficult initially, but I wanted to continue my studies as well there, as well as getting a job to survive there. So it was a quite long, process type of getting into to live a good life there.
So what were the difficulties that you faced the most, like adjusting to the foreign countries? Because if you are moving to Iran or Turkey, there is a different culture. When you go to Italy, it's a different one. And I mean, how did you cope with all these differences? I mean, how did you adjust language, the culture, the environment? How was it?
That's true, and especially when you move to some countries where you would try to speak in English, that was an advantage that I could speak in English there. But at the same time, there are countries that people would not know some English there, even some basic English. So there you face some challenges. So you have to put on some effort to learn some like basic words and sentences to be able to communicate with common people there. So I've always been a language lover. I've always wanted to learn as much languages as possible. And now here we are, like I already speak around 8 languages and I'm still learning.
So when we say 8 languages, which 8 languages that you are speaking?
Okay. So I speak Pashto, which is spoken in Afghanistan and some parts of Pakistan as well. I speak Dari. Okay,
it's confirmed, viewers, you can speak Pashto.
That was a good one, by the way.
Pashto.
Pashto, I speak Dari as well.
Dari شما خوب هستین سلام.
تشکر شما خوب هستین.
خوب هستین صحت شما خوب.
سلامت
کجا بودین دیروز؟
همراه شما در کار بودیم.
Okay, yes, you can speak Dari as well. Okay, carry on.
Okay. At the same time, I speak a Farsi version as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course, it's a bit different, but I still speak it somehow. I speak Urdu as well.
कैसे हैं आप? अस्सलाम
मैं ठीक
वालेकुम,
हूँ, आप
खैरियत से?
सुनाएं?
सच्ची ठीक है. So
बिल्कुल
viewers,
जी, जी.
he can speak Urdu as well. Very good.
Okay, so I actually know some Punjabi as well. I could
ਕੀ ਹਾਲ ਹੈ
speak.
ਜੀ? ਠੀਕ ਹੋ? ਸੱਚੀ
ਤੁਹਾਡਾ
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ?
ਕੀ ਹਾਲ ਹੈ?
ਮੈਂ
ਅਸੀਂ
ਠੀਕ
ਠੀਕ
ਹਾਂ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਤੋਂ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ? ਵੈਲਕਮ ਜੀ. ਉਹ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਨੂੰ. Very good.
He also know all those languages.
So
That's it.
viewers, he's speaking the right languages. Okay.
He's
Okay.
showing his skills now.
Okay, now.
And then I speak. I've actually learned some Arabic as well. I could speak
كيف
some Arabic.
الحال؟ بخير.
الحمد
أنا
لله. كيف
حسن.
أنت؟
كيف أنت؟
أنا مسعود. شكرا. من وين
ما
أنت؟
شاء الله ما شاء الله بارك الله فيك. So he can speak Arabic as well, although I don't have good skills in Arabic, but yes, he can speak Arabic. Yeah, carry on.
And also Italian.
Italian,
I speak,
very good.
Italian really well. Of course, English. And I speak Pashai as well, which is a local language in Afghanistan. Although I've forgotten a lot of things in Pashai, but I could.
How
could
do
still
they
speak.
say how are you in Pashai language?
In Pashai, you say like you say how are you or
How are you? Like how are you?
okay, how are you? Halik hopi.
Okay, where are you going?
Okay, today pay.
And what is Kidalik? Any word?
Kitalik, you ask for the Kitalik. Kitalik means like a girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Vide. What does it mean?
Maybe your pronunciation.
Yamna.
No, I didn't get
Okay,
it. Maybe
sorry.
you're pronouncing it
Maybe
in a
I'm
different way.
pronouncing- Okay, very good, very good. So say something in Italian language. The languages
In
that you
Italian.
speak, we want you to say a few words.
Ok, a few words. Ok, adesso devo parlare in italiano. Cioè, ho tanti amici che mi conoscono con cui parlo in italiano. Quindi
Wow, I'm amazed. Thank you so
Thank
much. You speak a lot of languages, surely more than me. So,
Thank you.
okay.
Thanks
So
for being humble.
I'm honored to have you in my program. So you learn all those languages. You have stayed in the foreign countries. So now I want to ask you a question. For example, what difference do you see in yourself now and then when you were in Afghanistan in terms of thinking, personal development, dealing with the problems? How do you?
To be honest, Mr. Hassan, like there is one thing, your mentality. It grows, it expands with time, with experiences. You meet new people. But the base of your mentality should come from your friends and family.
Yeah.
So the way your family taught you things to do, or your teachers, when especially friends, your background, there is a saying as well, like show me your friends, I'll show you your future. So that's actually true. I have always been an open-minded kind of person, even though we come from a country where like so many things are happening.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my family, I come from an educated family. My mother have a master's degree as well. My sisters, I have my sister who's doctor in Sweden now. So even like my grandmother, she has a graduation.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So
This is a unique sort of profile you have from Afghanistan, because usually the concepts are that the literacy rate is very low in Afghanistan. It is indeed, but there are people who are highly educated, as you are saying that even your grandmother was a graduate.
Exactly. This is what has always helped me a lot, to grow personally, and also you were saying about like how my thinking abilities and how like perspective of different things and like personal development, like how the progress of that when you ask me about it. As I told you, like all those factors has helped me to become like I would say a good person, a good citizen of this world. Like I'm still learning to be as good as I can. We are all doing it, to be honest, and I suggest everyone should do their part, and play their role for the betterment of the society, for the betterment of the humanity. So yeah, this is it. Like
it's a very irrelevant sort of question, but I think it is relevant. For example, from here, people from the Eastern countries. We move to European countries, there are financial issues, there are different other issues, so many issues that we leave our countries. But if the environment and everything is better in our own country, what do you think? Is it better to stay in our own country and to progress and live in the same place where where we were born and where we had the early childhood days? Or is it better to go and live in foreign countries for good, as some of us do? What do you think? What's your opinion on this?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Actually, it's a very valid question, to be honest. It's one of the most important questions of our talks today. When it comes to be in your country, yeah, we have to stay in our country. We have to live there. It's our land. But at the same time, unfortunately, it's not possible for many of us to travel a lot. But I was like, if I had this power to make travel everywhere, I would have done that. Actually, because you become a more kind of an open-minded person. You see different cultures. You get to know different cultures. You see new people. You see the differences, and you get to know those differences. That's the main thing. So there is something about living and then something about traveling. So both are like different. In our cases, as we said, like we go to some countries and to seek a better life there, which is fine. Like even if you were like one of those most developed countries, you could have moved to another country at the same time.
For better opportunities.
For better opportunities. But at the same time, like, would have been much easier if your own country was developed, and like it would have been like much easier to achieve something there. So yeah, definitely that option would have been like better than the other options.
Obviously, I mean, traveling to different countries, there is always a lot of knowledge and experience waiting for you. Once we go, even if somebody goes from America to India, they will learn a lot. Afghanistan or Pakistan or Bangladesh, anywhere they go, they will learn a lot, because there is so much to be learned. And I think I appreciate the people even from Eastern countries, because they come, they learn the language, the culture, although it's really, really tough, because there is a difference of, I mean, the development, 50 years almost they are back in everything. But still they do adjust, they try to adjust, and they do adjust, and it's not a simple thing, it's a hard thing. So views, my suggestion from our conversation is, you must travel. Even if everything is okay, just travel around the world. It will give you an opportunity going out of your comfort zone. It's very important for human development. One must go. Even if there isn't anything relevant, we must go.
Exactly.
What do you think about this?
No, you're absolutely right. And at the same time, I was thinking about there is another type of traveling as well. Like, I know for so many people out there, it's not possible to go abroad to other countries because of like a financial means. But they can travel like short distances. For example, let's take Pakistan. It's a huge country. You can go, for example, from one state to another. You can go from one province to another.
Yeah.
Or maybe from one village to another. You have to travel, because we're all like different. Even in a particular area, there are different ethnic groups or different even different families. But you keep traveling. That's what makes you like an open person.
Masood, do you read books?
I love books. I read books, although I'm not gonna lie, I'm not reading a lot of books lately. But I used to read a lot of books.
What did you read about most of the times? I mean, if you go to a shop, what sort of book would you prefer?
Okay, mostly there were stages in my life, I would say. There were stages where I was like more into politics and geography. Politics, because of my father. He's a retired general, so he reads a lot. He reads all the time, and whenever he would read something, he will just throw it at me and say, son, read this book and this, that. So I got this habit from him, and now I read a lot about life. I read also about business ideas. It's a secret I'm telling you. So yeah, a lot of business ideas and like especially about life, personal development. I read a lot here.
I myself, since my childhood, apart from my syllabus books, I've been reading any other book that was irrelevant to my syllabus. right from the year 3 in school, I started reading on any book and every book that came into my hands. I was reading and reading and reading and reading the digest of the stories that I was not supposed to even read. I was reading those stories and everything, and I kept on lately, as you are saying, when the life becomes busy, but I am more into philosophy, literature, poetry. These are my main subjects, and I even do you write yourself?
No, to be honest, I don't write, but you point out something. I used to read novels as well. Don't ask me which one because I don't remember names of them,
Yeah.
but I've read a lot of them actually.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. Even in our own language, like in Pashto, I used to.
You used to read.
Yeah.
Well, we will come to Pashto again. We will talk in Pashto language
Sure.
as well, just to have a little bit of taste, because it's really hard for two people who can speak Pashto and they don't speak Pashto. It's really hard.
Yeah,
so
to
we will
stay away from Pashto. We can't do it with Pashtuns.
Yeah. So we are going to speak Pashto, so stay tuned. So Masood, what are your current activities? What do you like doing? I mean, in terms of your hobbies, what do you do?
Okay, so currently I'm busy with my job as well. As you know, I'm an interpreter and a cultural mediator as well at the same time. The cultural mediator part I'm doing online, and as an interpreter I'm physically going to different places for interpreting, and I do also like written, and I'm a freelancer, so I do written translations as well. Apart from that, with my hobbies, I would say there are a lot of things. I used to play cricket a lot, but lately I'm not playing like from last 10 years or something, which I know is a long time.
Yeah.
I love billiard and as well. Yeah,
I like billiard as well. We must go to play.
We must. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been playing a lot, but lately for the last 2 months I'm not playing. But we will definitely.
Yeah, that's good you told me, because yeah, I'm into billiard and snooker. I love them.
I bet you must be a good player. We will see.
I used to. I forgot how to hold the stick now.
We will. Okay, so these are the most relevant things: the language, the culture, the development. What are your future plans? What do you want to do? What are your goals in your life? What do you want to do?
I just want to keep it simple. I just want to go with the flow. I just want to be the better person as I could and do good things to others. I just love to help others. I'm always thinking, I want to earn a lot of money actually, not for myself. I just want to do good to others. That's just my main goal.
Okay. Masood, there are times in the life when we face difficulties and problems, and we are so much stuck, and we want to change the environment around us, but we cannot do. What do you do in such situation? These occasions come.
Yeah, in general, there are a lot of things over which we don't have any control, and we cannot change them. There are a lot of things, in nature and some political issues and other stuff. But we just try. We take small step, towards the betterment. Like, let it be anything in your life or someone else's life. You just do things which you can control, and there are things which you could do, but at a particular time of your life you could not do them. But you just progress towards it and to try to change something.
Yeah, because I am in particular want you to say something for the youth, because currently there is this inflation around the world. The targets are tough, the aims and the goals are very tough to achieve. I mean, buying homes, settling down, having children, it's a huge and heavy responsibility, specifically for our youth. How should they behave? How should they do? I mean, what are they supposed to do to just not be in tense environment?
Okay, there is a very good answer to all of those problems actually. The main thing is how you manage as a person every single thing in your life. For example, sometimes we say we don't have enough money to buy this and that, but the thing is, if you say we don't have enough money, it means you have money, not enough, but have. You just have to change your habits, how to spend those money. You don't have to sometimes if you can find other ways like good ways to earn money, that's fine. But at the same time, you know, your demands will be here.
Yeah.
So, you know, you just try to, manage your money and your time and everything in its better way possible.
Yeah. This is the money management.
Yeah.
But
no, at the same time, I was sorry to interrupt you, but I was telling you all those things which I said could happen only when you can control your mind.
Yeah.
If you can control your mind, you can control your emotions, you can control so many things. Like, mind is everything. If you can control your mind, you can control your body, your emotions, everything.
Yeah. And carry on doing something.
Exactly.
I mean, doing something is much more better than doing nothing.
Doing nothing.
And keep trying and trying and trying until we become successful. If one method is not successful, we can try another one.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. As you said, like I was about to come to this point. Like controlling mind doesn't mean like you have to stay in your bed all the time and you just think. No, you shouldn't think about anything. You have to think, but you don't have to overthink about something. Just get up, do something. There are a lot of things which are free in life, and believe me, when you do something, ideas will be there, like surrounding you. So just don't stay in your comfort zone. Just don't say like, oh, okay, I'm gonna sleep because I have nothing to do. No, you must have your routine, like sleep in a particular time. Just don't stay like. Sometimes we're humans, like even I do. Sometimes I would just be in my bed and like sometimes I would play a game or something, but it shouldn't be your normal routine.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. Do bad things. I don't recommend doing any bad things. By bad mean like some personal choices. For example, like as I said, playing games. I suggest it's not a good thing. You know, it shouldn't be wasting your time. There are a lot of things like activities you could do instead of like just staying in bed and playing like something, a video game or something. But as I was telling you, just go out, you know, explore, and like you will find your way.
So, you know, these hardships, do you think they make us strong? Are they important for us? Do we learn from the hardships of the life? What's your suggestion?
Of course, we do learn, but the thing is, if you are a learner, if you're not a learner, you would just, you know, think about it and get upset all the time, and you just consider them not as experience. You will consider them like a bad time. No, I don't want to remember it. But no, you have to be optimistic. You have to be, you know, realistic. You just have to say, no, it was an experience. I've learned something from it, and just carry on with the other stuff.
Yeah. Okay. This was. What's your take on for the sports for the youth? Are they supposed to be involved constantly in physical activities to be physically active? What do you think?
Absolutely.
Does it change the way of thinking?
Absolutely, absolutely. Sports is one of the best thing you could do to your body, you could do to your life. Just be in sports. As I was saying, like be active. No matter if you have nothing to do, just go for walks. You know, you cannot go in the sun. Maybe just go at night. In the evening. Just try to be active. Do any kind of sports you like. Even if you don't like, as I said, like just go for walks. That's all. But the main thing is you have to be active. If you're active, your mind will be like normal. Your mind could like function really well, and you will have a lot of things to think about.
What do you think about what's the purpose of the life? This is a philosophical sort of question, but I ask almost every guest of the Thecommontales studio. What do you think? What is the purpose of the life?
Okay, when it comes to purpose of the life, there are a lot of like, as you said, it's philosophy, and there are a lot of angles you could, you know, define life from. But I will just keep it simple in my own way, how I see life. Life is something to be lived, to do good to others. I think, as you say, you know, there is a thing. When you do something good to someone, like scientifically and medically, you're actually doing something good to yourself. You know, there are glands which makes you happy.
Yeah.
So when you do something good, you're not doing something good to someone. Actually, you're doing something good to yourself because you become happy. At the same time, for example, the sports. You know, when you go and enjoy your sport, you become happy. It's a scientific fact. It's a medical fact. So, as I said, life is to be lived, you know, to let others live and help each other. And it's we're all in a journey here in this life. So then there are other beliefs, like obviously like religious people would say they will have, but they also we're all going on a same path, you know. We all have like same goals. We are living, we eat, we breathe, and we let others live. This is, I think, the purpose of life, to be happy and to let others be happy.
So for my viewers, always I say what we are drinking today. So it's a suggestion of Mr. Masood. It's pineapple mixed with apple and some other fruits juice, and it's very tasteful, and I'm really enjoying it. Thanks to the people who have served us for this. So okay, so we have talked about the suggestions to the youth, the purpose of life, all those things. Currently, how do you feel about your existence in Cyprus? How do you like Cyprus? At the same time, there is another question attached to it as well. For example, when you learn a language, you go to a country, you learn the language, the culture and everything, and you start listening to the music as well of the same country. So question is, what sort of music do you listen to? I mean, first answer the question of current Cyprus, and then tell me about the music of Cypriot music, the Italian music, all the languages that you know.
When it comes to Cyprus, I love it. To be honest, it's a very honest answer. Initially, when I came here, I was like, you know, thinking, I was double-minded, you know, to stay here and, you know, for longer or whatever. But I'm in love with Cyprus. Cypriots are nice people, and you see people from different cultures here. That's the beauty of Cyprus, you know. It's a relatively hot country, but at the same time, you have so many things to explore here. Beautiful cities, beautiful beaches, and I can keep on talking about Cyprus all the day, and it won't finish.
No, very much right, yeah.
So it's about Cyprus. And the second question was about the music. I'm a diverse person. I'm just not into a specific type of music. Although when I was very young, I used to listen to English and Indian and Pashto music in Dari as well, like Farsi. But now I'm like, there are like songs which I even don't know its meaning. For example, I'm very much into Spanish music when I'm in a romantic mood. So I listen Italian, even Chinese music. You will not believe that, but I am sometimes.
I've never done that. Okay.
I actually do. I actually do. So when it comes to music, Albanian. Okay, I will name some. Like I've been to Albanian. I was into Albanian music at a particular time. But I still do it. Pashto music, very less now. Indian as well, I used to a lot, but now very less. And then Italian, I already talked about it. Arabic music, Turkish sometimes, Persian music, and I might miss some of them. Like there are a lot of other musics I listen to.
Okay, viewers, we are going to switch into Pashto language for a few minutes, just to rehearse our own language. سارا دي جوړې ته موږ څو خبرې افغانانو ورونو دپاره وکړو چې دوی په کوم اروپا کې پراته دي او څه احوال دي، څه پیغام لري دوی دپاره، څه ویل ورته غواړې؟
سمه ده. اول خو ټولو افغانانو، پښتنو، پاکستانیانو ورونو ته سلامونه او احترامات. اوس خپل ژبه کې شروع سره پیغام مې ټولو ته دا دی، نه پوهېږم چې په کوم لیول یا کوم سټیج کې به فعلا استی، ډېر وخت به هم کېږي، لږ وخت به هم کېږي، یا مثلا هغه لیګل سټیټس یا هغه اسناد به هم تر کوم حده پوري، خو همیشه مثبت اوسئ. کوشش وکړئ چې مثلا خپل وخت په ځان کې انویسټمنټ وکړئ، که نه ځان کې مثال ته دغه خپل وخت چې دی ضایع نه کړي، خصوصا څوک چې نوي دي هغوی ته خو به دغه وخت داسې لکه سره زر، رښتیا هم چې وخت سره زر دی، نو د وخت نه استفاده وکړئ. باور وکړئ چې که چېرته دغه وخت خپل صحیح تاسو استعمال کړئ. د صحیح استعمالول چې زه تاسو ته وایم که نه، لکه مخکې خبرې یم چې مونږ لږ انګلیسي کې وکړې، که دغه ویډیو تاسو اول سر نه وګورئ هغې کې هم زموږ دا خبرې ځینې وي، خو دلته یې پښتو کې ورته وایم چې مثلا درس زده کړه مطلب دا نه دی چې تا حتمن باید مکتب ته لاړ شي. زده کړه دغې نه هم کېږي چې دا دی ما او حسن صاحب اوس بیرون راوتي، کېدای شي مونږ دلته نوی نن یو شی وګورو، یو چا نه یو څه زده کړو، نو کوټه کې مه کښېنئ، مرغانچه کې چا خبره مه کښېنئ، ځان نه چرګان مه جوړوئ، بیرون وځئ یو څه زده کړئ.
ښه، بله یوه خبره دا ده چې زمونږ دغه دپاره چې کوم کسان زموږ افغانان دونه راغلي دي دوی دپاره دا چې دا اوپن مایندډ ځان وساتي چې یو آماده اوسي د زده کړې دپاره دا بعضې وخت کې ډېره یو مشکله خبره شي ځکه چې موږ ربط یا ارتباط یا رابطه نه ساتو داسې خلکو سره داسې انسانانو سره چې څوک لږه ډېر لږ شانتې په ترقي کې مخکې ته وي ذهني ترقي ونیسه کلتور ترقي ونیسه چې لږ شانتې په مخ تګ کسان دي چې هغو نه مونږ زده کړو که مونږ اکثر هغو نه ځان یو خواته کوو او خپل هغه پښتنو کې اوسېږو د دې حوالې نه
ډېره ښایسته خبره دې وکړه ډېره ښایسته نقطه وکړه حسن جانه زمونږ خلک چې دي اکثریت کوشش کوي چې راشي هر ملک چې خپلو خلکو منځ کې اوسېږي نو د دې وجې نه هغه کوم ملک ژبه چې هغه هم نشي زده کولی هغه کلتور عنعناتو سره هم انټیګریشن چې ورته وایي نشي بلد کېدلی نو زه وایم دا ډېره یو منفي نقطه ده زمونږ خلک چې راشي اول کوشش وکړي زه نه وایم چې زمونږ خلک بد دي خپلو منځو کې هم سره اوسېږئ ژوند کوئ روغبړ لیدل خو ژوند کول کوشش وکړئ چې نورو نیشنالټیز چې دي خصوصا که ملک چې اوسېږئ د هغې خلکو ته نږدې واوسېږئ یو خو بهتره خبره دا ده او دا یو حقیقت دی چې هغوی نسبتا زموږ ملکونه جوړ دي هغوی آیډیاز چې دي زموږ نه لږ کلیر دي نو که ته ورته نږدې پاتې شي کیدای شي تا ته مثال دا یو کومک تا سره وشي ته ترې ډېر څه زده کوې بل مهمه خبره دا ده چې ته ورسره ژبه هم زده کوې هم د دې ژبه زده کېږي هم مثال نوې خبرې او کوشش وکړئ هغه خلکو سره کښېنئ چې د هغې نه یو څه زده کړی شي مثال که ته داسې یو نفر سره کښېنئ چې مثال هر انسان نه خو یو نه یو څه زده کوي خو بیا که ته هغه لیول ته وګورې چې مثال د هغې زده کړو د هغه لیول چې دی کوم حده پورې دی د هغې خبرو طرز نه معلومېږي داسې کسان د ځان نږدې پاتې شي حتما ته یو څه ښه زده کولی شي او دغه سره مثال ذهن بدلتیا هم ذهن دې ورسره یو څه بدلېږي ډېرې خبرې داسې دي موږ او تاسو دپاره چې زموږ په کلتور کې موږ فکر کوو چې دا به بد وي خو په حقیقت کې په ټوله دنیا کې بد نه وي خو هغه بدبختانه زموږ خلکو کې زموږ ذهنونو کې هم داسې پاتې شوي نو دغه ستاسو د ذهنونه چې دا ورسره صفا کېږي ځینې خبرې دي چې تا به فکر کوو بد وي نه به په هغه زموږ په دین کې بد وي نه به په کلتور کې اصلا بد وي خو بس زموږ خلکو به بدې کړي نو کوشش وکړئ چې نورو خلق سره نږدې پاتې شي نورو
برای دری زبان‌ها که چی گفتنی دارین لطفاً بگوین.
تشکر عین چیز با محتران در زبان ما کسی که خصوصا نو آمدین چیزایی که پیشتر گفتم کمتون حتما فهمیده باشین مطمئن هستم کوشش کنین که وقتتان ضایع نکنین وطندار گلم نو که آمدین اینجا کوشش کنین درسایتان بخوانین کار کنین کار 100% یک کار برتان پیدا بکنین مهم نیست که هر کار باشه ولی و خصوصا چیزایی که مثلا غیر قانونی باشه خودداری کنین از پیشان خدا نخواسته پس اسنادتان خراب نشوه یا دیپورت نشوین چیزای مهمی است که امرای خارجی ها قسمی که در پشتو هم گفتم نزدیکتر باشه خارجی ها منظور ما خارجی هست منظور مردم اروپایی است یا مثلا امریکا یا کانادا هر جایی که هستین چون کوشش اگر نزدیکتر باشین میتونین زبان هم زودتر بلد شوین و در این حالت مثلا همو کلچر و کلتور کشور هم زودتر بلد میشین و قسمی که گفتم بیشتر که مثلا اونا که کشورهایشان از ما مترقی تر هستن اونا نظریات مثلا خوبتر از ما دارن یک حقیقت است امکان داره که یگان تایش مثلا از ما کده بدتر باشه ولی اکثریتشان چون کشورهایشان جور است و اونا ذهن سالم دارن دیگه گپای یاد گرفته میتونن.
تشکر بسیار مسعود جان अब हम थोड़ी सी बात उर्दू में कर लेते हैं
जी जी क्यों नहीं
उनके लिए जो उर्दू समझते हैं तो ये है कि उर्दू ज़ुबान आपको कैसी लगती है
मुझे उर्दू ज़ुबान बहुत अच्छी लगती है आई लव उर्दू क्योंकि काफ़ी टाइम से एक तो मैं एज ए कल्चरल मीडिएटर उर्दू में काफ़ी मैंने काम किया है स्पेशली रिटन जो ट्रांसलेशन होते हैं जो उसमें स्पेशली जब मैं आ गया स्टार्ट में जब मैं आपको एक बात बताऊँ जब मैंने एज अ उर्दू ट्रांसलेटर मैंने स्टार्ट लिया था तो मोस्टली जब हमारे पाकिस्तानी भाई मुझसे मिलते थे तो मैं जब बात करता था तो सभी मुझे बोलते थे कि तुम तो हिंदी बोलते हो क्योंकि काफ़ी जो वर्ड्स थे मैं यूज़ करता था वो हिंदी के
ऑब्वियसली
तो इसमें कुछ टाइम लगा थैंक्स टू सम कोलीग्स एंड फ्रेंड्स के उन्होंने मुझे जो है ना रेक्टिफाई किया कि नहीं यहाँ पर ऐसा बोलना चाहिए यहाँ पर वैसा तो टाइम के साथ जो है ये डेवलप हो गया
उर्दू का कोई शेर सुना दें
उर्दू का शेर मैं शायरी सच बताऊँ शायरी में कुछ ज़्यादा खास हो भी नहीं लेकिन सोचता हूँ और कोई अच्छा इतना अच्छा शेर नहीं होगा मैं सोचता हूँ थोड़ा अच्छा, बोलते हैं आया हूँ बड़ी दूर से एक बात के लिए,
वाह वाह वाह।
आया हूँ बड़ी दूर से एक बात के लिए। नहीं, ये शेर नहीं है, एक मिनट। अच्छा, ये मैं सुनाता हूँ, ये थोड़ा सा वो क्लिंगी टाइप का भी है, लेकिन सुनाता हूँ ये, क्योंकि ये मैं भूल गया हूँ।
अच्छा।
बोलते हैं कि तेरे होठों में जो सुर्खी है वो गुलाब में कहा,
वाह।
तेरे होठों में जो सुर्खी है वो गुलाब में कहा, तेरे आंखों में जो मस्ती है वो शराब में कहा।
वाह वाह। मैं भी आपको शेर सुनाता हूँ। नाजुकी उन लबों की क्या कहिए,
वाह वाह।
नाजुकी उन लबों की क्या कहिए, पंखड़ी एक गुलाब की सी हैं।
ओए,
तो
ओए।
कुछ ऐसे अशार, उर्दू ज़ुबान ही एक लिटरेचर से और काफ़ी ज़ुबानों का मजमूआ,
जी जी जी
उर्दू लश्करी ज़ुबान, तो इसमें बड़ा मज़ा आता है बात करते हुए।
जी।
आपने काफ़ी सारी ज़ुबानों में बात की, स्टूडियो में आए, बड़ा मज़ा आया।
मुझे भी।
Now we switch back to English because we have
All
spoken
right.
almost all the languages and almost all the subjects, and I have really enjoyed this
Me too.
interview with you. Do you have any last message for our viewers through the studio of Thecommontales? Anything you want to say?
I really enjoyed staying with you here with this beautiful talks, and it was an honor, a pleasure to be here. My last message is like I've already talked about it already, a lot of things about being positive, about like so many aspects of life. I just want to say one thing: just keep spreading love, keep learning, and be active. Those three things are very important. Stay on it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Masood. It was really a pleasure having an interview with you.
Thank
Dear
you.
viewers, as you have seen, I have introduced Mr. Masood to you, his life experiences, his suggestions, his talk, his goals, his current life, his past life, and everything. All the purpose of this talk, this interview is to learn from it, because the thing is, we are nowadays lacking the means of communication, which is face-to-face communication. Because of the social media, we are most of the time on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all those things, and we don't have the time to communicate with each other. Through this interview, I just want to say to you, I've got a very beautiful writing in this studio here which says, strangers are just friends you haven't met yet. Which means any person that is stranger, they are friends, but you haven't met them yet. And how do you meet them? You communicate with them. Unless you communicate with somebody, you don't say I met them, because communication makes a meeting between two human beings, and they get to know each other. They are supposed to talk to each other, to know each other, and they learn a lot. Each human being is a unique entity on the planet Earth, and each human being is filled with unique experiences, a different point of view, and we have to talk to them, listen to them, learn from their experiences as well, because our own experience is our own experience, which is one lifetime. But the more people you meet, the more you communicate with them, the more you talk with them, you will learn from their life experiences as well. And it's a huge crowd of people out there. Just go there and talk to them and have a good life. And thank you so much for being with us. You will see me in another program with another guest in the same studio with Thecommontales. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate very much your time of listening to this program. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.